Ladies and gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen. Are you there?
That makes people dizzy.
You think so? You think so? Okay. 5 o'clock. 5 o'clock, and it's time for 5 o'clock here in California, of course, Pacific Standard Time, and it's time for what, Christy?
The LeoZagami Show.
Okay. Welcome to the most unusual show to date when it comes to geopolitics and other matters, including the esoteric, the occult, and of course on Thursday we're going to always focus on things that are rather unusual but important and interesting. Not that we don't focus, but we have like a theme for the day. Subject for the day. On Thursday, next Thursday, we have also Donald Schmidt, which is one of the curators of the Roswell Museum. So we will be touching on one of the most critical subjects of the moment, the Pentagon, the UFOs, and whatnot. I mean, we are touching on this subject also in my latest book, Volume 7 of my Confessions. Book you need to purchase not only to know how this mess started, but also how to survive it. Welcome, Diane. Welcome, Katie. Welcome to the LeoZagami Show. And of course, somebody is also mentioning in the chat your books, Christy, your books, because Volume 1 and 2 of Confessions of an Illuminati Princess. Somebody called their cat Rambo in honor of our Rambo. Hope you don't.
Really?
Yes, that's good. That's good. That's good.
Naming their cat or Rambo, that's cool. What an honor.
Huh? Okay. Bruce, hello. To
Hi,
enjoy
Bruce.
the Saturday world, and sometimes you have to go to act silly. Well, we act silly and laugh in the face of adversity.
Hi, Diane. Hi, Katie. Hi, Bruce.
Super Speaker 38. They say hello even from Rome. And it's the middle of the night in Rome. Cameron 1. Hello, guys. Leo, I sent an email with my collection and a canvas drawing. I just finished Volume 7. Just came today. Listen to, and this is Diane. Listen to last one with both of your testimonies in Italy. You both been through a lot. Glad you are safe. You're safe. That's good. That's good. People are also reading your book because your book includes your own testimony of the events and what happened, unfortunately, in Italy. Okay, 4 minutes past the hour. A few people have tuned in, not many to tell the truth. But we will persist. So please subscribe, yes, to our channels. So we are broadcasting from the Zagaman, new channel for the LeoZagami Show, and CANALE Ufficiale of the LeoZagami Show, and on Leo Lion Zagami in America profile page, official page on Facebook. So I mean, we are present, and of course we hope not to get censored. Hello, Simon Hinton from London.
We had some weirdness happening to the last video.
What happened?
That notice that came up.
This is something really crazy, guys.
I'm sure everybody's seen it if you try to watch our last video.
No, I mean, if you basically go to our last video, YouTube basically warns you that there is something dangerous within this video, something adult. What did we do, Christy? We didn't have a sexy time on the screen here. So, I mean, what is so shocking? By the way, what are you doing with this finger? You're distracting me. You see Simon? Hello, Simon.
Hi, Simon.
Okay, Barbara, how do you do, Leo, Christy, and all from Atlanta? Okay, so we have people from London, from Atlanta, from all over the place, Los Angeles. Okay, we have a lot to talk about today.
Won't do it again.
Christy.
Christy,
finding the right alchemy with the lights is something you see that we try to work on. We try to work on. So the subject of today is very important, and I would like to define it a little bit for you guys, because I understood today was the right time to talk a little bit about the social engineering of the masses that started a long time ago in preparation of this specific decade, which will see the rise of the artificial intelligence and basically the rise of what I call cyber Satan. So, somebody said, did I miss Christy's Leo's sexy time on the screen? Well, definitely you missed it because it was never there. But no, the problem is that YouTube is actually warning people, even myself, when I go in my own video, just try to click on the last episode of the Leo Zagami show from, was it Tuesday?
Yeah.
Okay, Tuesday. And you will see a strange warning. It's like, and basically you have to sign up and prove that you're an adult. Because this
I didn't have to do that. Maybe I was signed in, so I didn't have to do that.
You have to basically turn up the volume.
Saying.
Somebody says turn up the volume. Just a second, guys. Pump up the volume. There was a song in the 80s. Pop up the volume. Pop up the volume. Pop up the volume. Dance, dance. Okay, here we are. So the volume, a little bit more volume. Second, guys. Give you. Now, can you hear me loud and clear? Can you hear me loud and clear? Okay, so this is basically the idea of today, trying to understand where it all started. Definitely, we can say that our world changed very much on 9/11. That was the first moment, the first moment of the strategy of tension here in the United States of America. And this social engineering, though, of course, was orchestrated through the well-orchestrated crafting of MK Ultra, the CIA with various programs. Before that, the Tavistock Institute. The ultimate goal is basically the complete extirpation of mankind's inner sense of identity, the tearing out of basically our soul, and the placement in the vacant space of an artificial synthetic pseudo soul. Because once you are
a pseudo soul,
yes. Because that's really what happens with artificial intelligence interaction. You kind of like lose your own touch on things. When they say smart, just like I say in my book, I explain in my book, and here there is, of course, a whole chapter on the rise of cyber Satan, but he's also the main protagonist of another important book, which is, of course, volume 6.66. But aside from all this, this behavior modification is to bring forced changes to our way of life, because they want to extirpate basically our humanity in favor of something that ultimately will be directed by Satan. Cyber Satan doesn't want our soul, doesn't want our faith, doesn't want our spirit alive. And so today I went through a few writings of mine and of other authors to try to find more and more material that could inspire the present show, because you see, we are talking about I described in this video also what we will discuss, security and world order, for example, the fact that we have, of course, the nuclear element, we have the cyber element, the artificial intelligence element merging into one. We are seeing also with this war, of course, an escalation towards something that is still we hope we can avoid, which is the eventual nuclear confrontation. As you know, Christy, Finland and Sweden have asked to join NATO, which really it's a pretty shocking thing to do, I mean, for the world equilibrium. But at the same time, we are living in a world where Satan is truly present. And as you know, I am translating and I'm adapting into English a book which I published originally in Italian and will be republished in a new edition also, because this will be the first time we will be publishing Volume 8 both in Italy and in the English language. So it's going to be a lot of work that we are conducting behind the scenes. But this is a Disney Channel star, China McClain, that talks about satanic worship in Hollywood, just to give you an idea of what my new book will be about.
Stuck as Satan, full-on visuals of Satan, people dressed as Satan, dressed as a demon, got upside-down crosses all on their clothes or pentagrams on their clothes. People think that this stuff is just a game. No, there's a reason why the entertainment industry is doing that, y'all. They know good and doggone well that God exists. They also know that Satan exists. They're just counting on the fact that y'all don't know that. But either way, the things that you take in, that they're feeding you, those things affect you. Whether you realize it in the moment or not, they affect you. That's why they do it. I'm not going to sacrifice the honesty in order to be politically correct. I can say whatever I have to say with respect, but I'm going to say it, and I'm going to say it bluntly.
Well, I'm not sure she's going to have a great future in Hollywood after this. What do you think, Christine?
Probably not. I was wondering that.
Somebody said, let's Christy help you translate. Of course, we have been doing that for a long time, since we have translated the first 5 books that were published in the English language. They were originally written in Italian. So we have a long experience of translating and not really translating only, but adapting, because it's about making the people who read these books feel like it's written in their language, not translated. So it's kind of rewritten. So it's a process of rewriting, really, that we're going through. And so we are discussing here the fact that, of course, there is been a careful, orchestrated, slowly but inexorable change of our society to transform every single human being in a way that they will be not opposing in the end the mark of the beast. They will be willing to get microchip. Now, we all have seen in the last few days TEDx in Vancouver with Bill Gates, now with Elon Musk. There has been a lot of protest, though, at the TED conference in Vancouver, especially when Bill Gates was due to talk. Check this out. arrest Bill Gates, and that is basically a crowd that probably is the leftover from all those protests they had in Canada. Did they reach any actual results with those protests? Unfortunately not. They still have their dictator Justin Trudeau in Canada.
Same thing happened to us. Everybody was protesting Gavin Newsom, and look what happened. Nothing.
So Gavin Newsom actually has the insane idea of wanting to candidate himself for president of the United States in the near future. They are thinking of placing him on the presidential bid for 2028. I think that by that time, I mean, probably, I don't know if the United States will still be in existence, if they continue with this whole Democrat plan to destroy the very values of the United States of America. But Newsom doesn't have a clue. I mean, he lives in a parallel reality, and is helped by the fact that most Californians are ignorant, and they're so ignorant that they unfortunately go along with what he proposes, which is one set of rules after the other, and nobody respects them, by the way, because I mean, he likes to put them in place, but then respecting them is another matter, because a lot of people break the law all the time here in Canada. Because if you have to respect all the rules, regulations, and laws of California, you can't basically be an American. You are a robot. This is Bill Gates talking at the TED conference there, where, of course, you know, we are already viewing some other kind of diabolic plan by the man himself, the guy who, of course, has pushed the vaccines on planet Earth more than anybody else, all kinds of vaccines, including, of course, the one for the China virus.
Exactly, like, who's running this? How does this work? How do we make this happen?
Well, germ does not exist. It's a proposal I'm putting forward that hopefully over the next year, while the pain of the pandemic is still clear in people's minds.
So when the pain of the pandemic is still clear in people's mind, he wants to create an organization called GERM. That's the acronym for a diabolic creation that is aiming to control the whole of the world health. This guy is beyond evil.
Get a global consensus. The rich world governments will have to step up like they do with all the things and come up with that money. The way
So Bill Gates trying to prepare also the next level of this new world order, when they're gonna basically propose the microchipping of the whole population, Christy, but at the same time, this microchipping will be inserted even in food. It will become liquid microchips. There will be now, as maybe some of you have heard, mosquitoes, genetically modified mosquitoes released for the first time in California. We don't know how we can stop all this, because if they start with something truly diabolical like that, we're gonna basically, I mean, if you have a mosquito biting and inserting you something like, I don't know, it could be anything at that point, you know. They can put it in your salad. They can, I mean, we are in front of a change for mankind that is basically away from industrial production into spiritualism in a way, because we are in a post-industrial era that, you know, people are aiming for, you know, achieving higher knowledge, awareness. They like to get informed about the latest conspiracy theory. New age, but also a lot of Christians who fall into the trap of just spending most of their day in this artificially created reality, which is the internet, because we have to realize that the internet is an artificial created reality. And at the same time, we are facing, of course, the possibility of an escalation with the war. the nuclear weapons are now becoming once again a topic of discussion. And it was only a few hours ago that the director of the CIA said what I've been saying for weeks now. And it's basically the CIA director said he warns Russian threat of tactical nuclear weapons should not be taken lightly. So when I said, you remember, Christy, over and over again, the tactical nuclear weapons, the mobile nuclear weapons, maybe not the missiles, the one that will really create a major devastation, but still the possibility of them using something like that it's outrageous. I mean, and it's of course where we are heading to, unfortunately. So even here on loser CNN, where they announce, of course, what the director of the CIA has just said. I mean, they are warning maybe people of something that might be happening soon, because aside from the pandemic, we have, of course, which is a biological warfare attack on mankind. We will also see something even worse next, because they want to eliminate 3/4 of the population of the Earth. Somebody says, Leo predicting and mostly coming true, knows about government. Yes, well, that's because, of course, I was part of this system from the inside. I saw what they were planning, and I decided to work out of it in 2006. At that point, I started my quest, my mission to expose this reality. But unfortunately, it wasn't until I decided to actually start writing books, because the internet for 3 years, me and Christy met in 2008, was like full of trolls attacking me constantly. Something that still happens from time to time. We see them coming here, you know, it can happen. That's okay. But I was targeted because I was bringing out information, names, documents, and so my war within the Illuminati started actually a few years before, in 2003. And one of the subjects, of course, that brought me to the realization that there was, a good side, but it was a minority that was becoming irrelevant, and the majority was a bad side of Freemasonry, a bad side of the majority of the secret societies we call Illuminati, that I then described very well in their topology in Volume 1. But at this point, we are, of course, facing everything that I predicted, because, like I said, it was planned for a very long time. And when we saw these images, the images of the Prime Minister of Finland next to the Prime Minister of Sweden, really changing the whole architecture of the European security. And they admitted themselves, because if they join NATO, Russia has already said they will deploy nuclear weapons in the Baltic.
The European security architecture have changed fundamentally after Russia's invasion of Ukraine. The change in the security landscape,
the Finnish Prime Minister, Sanna Marin,
make it necessary to analyze how we best secure peace for Finland and in our region in the future. The report sees NATO as it is, not only as a military alliance, but also as a political alliance. NATO is an organization where important decisions concerning our security are taken. It is an important part of Europe's political and security architecture. As part of the discussion, we need to assess how our possible NATO membership would respond to our security needs. We also need to be very...
All these people from Finland, from Sweden, I mean, I lived in Scandinavia many years. I know the culture very well. I worked also in Finland. the problem with these people are a bunch of socialist, woke, leftist idiots. That's the big problem of these people. They live a very superficial kind of, in a superficial manner. I brought you to Finland, I brought you to Estonia. Christy, what was your impression about them? Because I even conducted a radio show.
I liked Estonia.
It was nice.
Mm-hmm.
It was definitely nice. But the people hated the Russians, and they were very superficial. I found them.
They weren't friendly. They're very friendly anyway.
Yeah.
I guess because it's so cold. I don't know. They don't have a warm kind of.
No, they don't have the warmness of the Italians there, of course. But there is also this deep hate for the. We went to this museum, you remember, of the old Soviet era in Estonia, and it's like they kind of like they seemed very much still anchored to this hate for the Russians, very much.
Frank about consequences and risks. There are both short-term and long-term risks. Both Finland and Sweden make independently their decisions regarding security policy arrangements. But we do that with a clear understanding that our choices will affect not only ourselves, but our neighbors as well. Our aim is clear. We want to guarantee peace in the future for us and for our region, for Europe, and to contribute towards that aim with our own choices.
Now, the problem here is that, of course, they will be violating their past stand as a neutral country. But of course, Russia at the moment is fighting in Ukraine. Most of their forces are deployed towards winning the war in Ukraine. And both Finland and Sweden wants to take advantage of that to immediately join NATO because they don't want to end up like Ukraine in case of an invasion. However, yesterday there were already military movements on the borders, on the border with Finland, the border which is pretty big border. I mean, it's almost 1,000 miles of border that Finland shares with Russia, 800 miles, I think. I mean, it's a big border that they share with Russia, and the fact is that, of course, you have also trains that can arrive directly to from St. Petersburg to Helsinki, and so this doesn't happen. You have to understand, there is no trains that really can arrive directly into Russia because there is a difference in the measure of the train lines, and this is done also for military reasons. So to see Finland quickly wanting to join and move towards NATO, it might really end up with a worsening of the situation, not something. Not a better move. This for
why
the whole.
now?
Because they want to avoid ending up with Ukraine. They think they might be invaded. Not that Russia had any intention of invading Finland. They are not connected in any way to the Russian ethnicity. They are Swedish people are, of course, descendants of the Vikings. Of course, we can say that maybe Russia, in part, the Tsars were descendants of the Vikings, and so, but this a long time ago. But the Finnish are descendants, the Sami people. We see them also, the Sami, the ones with the reindeers and stuff. They actually have, yes, their ethnicity originally. They say that it comes from probably Siberia or whatever, but they don't really have anything to do with the history of the Russian Federation. They always stay very distant, separate. But this move, of course, you have to understand, Finland is a republic of women, meaning not only the prime minister here, but all the ministers are all women. It's basically, there is no balls in Finland. And I can tell you this from my own experience. There is no real man in Finland. I'm sorry to say that. The Vikings might still have a little bit of, I've been working a lot and living in Norway and then Iceland, and I know Sweden very well, but Finland, the man, alcoholic, this melancholy in the air. You go back to your hotel room and they play dark jazz, and it's just like, what the hell? So these people are supposed to oppose. They have only 30,000 members in their army, 30,000 soldiers. So compared to what they have in Ukraine, 270,000 soldiers in Ukraine, which are also have been trained for years by NATO to oppose Russia. Finland doesn't have anything. They have a bunch of women and 30,000 soldiers. And this means, not because I have anything against the women of Finland. No, very nice, pretty, like that. But the problem is opposing the Russians here.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not going to be easy.
It just, okay, so Russia got mad because Ukraine was talking about maybe joining NATO, and they didn't want to have NATO right on their border, right? And so then, same thing with this.
Well, this is even worse, and actually, it would be even more, even easier to invade.
So, does everybody just want to get invaded and nuked? I mean, I don't understand. And that includes all the newscasters and Hannity.
See, the thing is, like, we have already Putin saying that he is gonna deploy nuclear missiles in the area. We have here even CNBC reporting, but of course you have had it also probably on the news. It's not like I'm giving you some breaking news here. In the last few hours, Russia threatens new nuclear deployments if Sweden, Finland joins NATO. And I don't think it's only about the nuclear deployments here. I mean, of course, nuclear deployments. I mean, we are living in an era where the threats, the nuclear strategy focused up until now on threats, not on practical use. A nuclear strike has not yet been even imagined as a reality, no? But this because back in the Cold War era, there were people who were responsible on both sides. Even when they escalated with the Bay of Pigs in the end, there was some kind of solution. Otherwise, we will not be here to talk about it. Things instead are changing now. When you have all these woke people, all these democrats, all these warmongering bunch of fools who are in charge of power. Things are really changing. By the way, I want to thank, of course, those people who make this broadcast possible, and those people are mainly the people who purchase my books, Essential Reading, to both learn what is happening at the moment, Volume 7, Volume 6.66. These are essential books in how to understand the preparation for the mark of the beast. And then we have also the donors, which make possible this show. And so I want to thank really from the bottom of my heart the donors that donate through Fundly, through GoFundMe, and through Cash App if you are in the United States, or if you are in Great Britain, because Cash App doesn't work in other parts of the world. At least to my knowledge, it works only here and in Great Britain. Probably is going to extend soon their operations. Let me put it here on the screen. Here we are. So, if you want to contribute, please do it. This gives us the possibility to bring you this show at least 3 times a week. And, of course, on a regular basis, we like also analysis on specific topics. And today, of course, we are discussing the topic of this which is being more and more beaten down, so they can't really oppose what is coming. We need to oppose all this with the great reject. Absolutely. Regarding the actual things that are happening at the moment that are, I think, relevant, we have, for example, really the zero core says you keep freezing, your video is glitching, you're freezing periodically. We will try to see if we can sort this out. Give me a second. Okay, here we are back with the Leo Zagami show regarding the technical problems, guys. We will, of course, continue to broadcast, but it depends also on your own connection, not only on us. It seems that there is lots of buffering, but probably on your side. And that means that you can maybe check it out again after the show finishes. No? Mm-hmm. In that case, if you had any problem in viewing the live show, maybe they don't like what we're saying.
Probably not.
Probably not, because we are trying, to give you the truth about some very uncomfortable topics. We were just discussing before we had these technical glitches, the fact that China is sticking to their COVID-0 policy. It's kind of incredible to see how they don't care about the health of their people, lead to starvation, as long as they can continue with this eternal theater of this COVID eternal theater. Now, Dr. Fauci finally admitted something. He admitted something we all knew, but it's important that now you all see it, because now that he has admitted this, he basically said that the lockdowns are made simply to force us into the vaccinations.
He said that?
Yeah, I mean, check this out.
How concerning is the outbreak in China? We see the lockdown in Shanghai, and the State Department now ordering families out, all non-essential workers out of Shanghai.
Well, China has a number of problems, two of which are that their complete lockdown, which was their approach, a strictest lockdown that you'd never be able to implement in the United States, although that prevents the spread of infection. And remember, early on, they were saying, and I think accurately, that they were doing better than almost anybody else. But lockdown has its consequences. You use lockdowns to get people vaccinated so that when you open up, you won't have a surge.
He finally said it. He finally said it. We use them to get people vaccinated.
To get people vaccinated so that when you open up, you won't have a surge of infections, because you're dealing with an immunologically naive population to the virus because they've not really been exposed because of the lockdown. The problem is that the vaccines that they've been using are not nearly as effective as the vaccines that are used in the United States, the UK, EU, and other places.
So, he admitted it.
What an evil, evil, evil man.
Evil, evil. But then you don't have only evil people on this planet. You also have crooks, criminals, and whole family of crooks and criminals, like the Biden family. That is really a crooked family. And I want to show you something here, because the sister of Joe Biden had the courage to say the following about Hunter. And it's pretty shocking to see this, because, I mean, is she really sincere? Is she really so demented? I mean, it's really insane. Hunter Biden is, of course, somebody we hope ends up soon in jail, though I doubt it here in the United States of America. But Joe Biden's sister, in an absurd way, says that Hunter making millions in China has nothing to do with the integrity of. Actually, says he's a very fine individual, somebody who went to Yale and this and that.
I think he got those jobs on his own.
Of course, doing the interview is that other. How can we call him?
His name is Chris.
I know it's Chris Wallace, but how can we call him? I leave it to you guys. This guy's such an idiot. Whatever.
In Ukraine and China, and it had nothing to do with who his dad was.
I think Hunter, I know that Hunter is a very bright young man. I know that he's a Yale Law School graduate. He was on several, the world, wait, I might get this wrong. The board for World Hunger or something close like that. And that he's been and he ran business, was involved in many businesses. So yeah, I mean, you know, Hunter is a Biden. He can't run. That's his name. And he is, he's a smart and capable and honorable and good young man.
Oh, but he's not really an honorable, good young man. Let me show you something here about Hunter Biden, because Hunter Biden is, of course, has ties to the United Nations World Food Program, and this whole thing, it's really full of corruption, and it's being discussed by somebody who knows about it in depth.
Let's walk through the story that we're going to break later tonight. Let's give everybody on the show the early scoop. Hunter Biden, the World Food Program, and scoring lots of money with foreign leaders. Tell us what we found.
Yeah, so Hunter Biden joined the board of the World Food Program USA. That is the American fundraising arm of the UN entity, the World Food Program. When Hunter Biden joins the board of the World Food Program, he takes a couple of years before he really starts to leverage his connections there in order to meet with foreign oligarchs, with an innocent seeming reason. So in 2013, Joe Biden gives a speech at the World Food Program. And in 2015, Hunter Biden and his business associates really start to meet under the auspices of the World Food Program. For example, Vadim Pozharsky, the Burisma advisor, contacts Hunter Biden via email and says, "I'd like to get involved with this UN World Food Program that you're working for." What really happens after that is there's no evidence that they actually do any hunger saving work. I mean, Hunter Biden did go on a few trips to Africa and elsewhere for the World Food Program. But these oligarchs, the Burisma oligarch, and then, of course, in the piece, we have the Chinese oligarchs who also hit up Hunter looking to get involved with the World Food Program. They don't seem to do any hunger work. They just seem to be putting money into Hunter's pockets.
Yeah, Seamus, that was something that I found glaring, is that in a number of these emails, he talks about solving world hunger and food safety and things of the like, and it seems very humanitarian until you look.
There is a solution to world hunger for Hunter Biden. You have to buy a crack pipe and then smoke crack every day, because when you smoke crack, you kind of, you're not hungry anymore, no? So Hunter Biden basically... solution for world hunger is a crack pipe, possibly distributed by the Biden administration for free.
The lucrative aspect of it, and he's just spinning all of this for money.
Yeah, that's exactly right. It actually started to feel a lot like the Clinton Foundation. When you look at the Clinton Foundation on the surface, it appears like they do all of this great charity work. They're in Africa and supposedly solving the AIDS crisis and solving climate change and all of these lofty goals. at the end of the day, you see the Clinton Foundation did not solve any of those problems. But what it did do is pull in $2.5 billion and filled the Clintons' pockets and allowed them to take all these fancy trips. It's kind of just like that with Hunter Biden. He doesn't get the same level of money as the Clinton Foundation, but he uses the World Food Program USA as an opportunity to be meeting on legitimate purposes. So they, you know, I'll give you an example. So there was this.
I wonder though how much crack he was smoking when he was on this World Food Program board. Yeah, how many prostitutes he was pleasing?
He's what they call a functioning addict because
he's a functioning addict. Okay, he's a functioning addict.
April 2015 dinner that Joe Biden attended that had a bunch of the oligarchs that Hunter Biden was making business deals with. That's Vadim Pozharsky from Burisma. It had several Kazakh oligarchs that Hunter was doing business with. And what happens when the news of this dinner comes out? Well, fact checkers at the Washington Post come out and say, no, this was not a corrupt meeting. It was not corrupt that the vice president was meeting with his son's foreign business associates. What was really happening is they were talking about the World Food Program. Now, it's really preposterous to think that they're not talking about their much bigger deals, the oil and gas deals and the energy deals. And
but the impression, it makes me a little bit wonder when I see these pictures next to his mother-in-law, because he has these sex fantasies about her that we discussed here in the past on the Leo Zagami show.
The mining and metals deals. But it allows them to say, we're doing good work, good charity work. And like I said, it has a very Clintonian feel to it.
He wants to join the show. The one and only Rambo. Yes, he's a Chihuahua, but he's much more than a Chihuahua. Remember that. He has already inspired the name of a cat. I don't know if you'll be happy about that. They might be chasing cats. Okay, so Rambo, come here. When you were a little kid, you used to hang out with cats. In fact, I think you're a bit confused sometimes. It sounds like a cat sometimes because you were hanging out with cats when you, yeah? It's true? Tell us more about it. Your experience, yes. And then what happened? Okay. Yeah,
he doesn't really like cats that much because when he
the problem was that in Italy a black cat jumped on him, jumped on his head, and kind of traumatized him. Yeah. Since then, he was never the same. What can you do? So, welcome to the Leo Zagami show. We are about to open the phone line, and Christy's ever so happy when that happens. Rambo, you have to chill out.
Call him here.
No, but he needs to chill out.
He won't stop.
Why is he such a? I know that when we talk about Hunter Biden, you start being agitated. Is that the case? Don't worry about it, Rambo. We're not going to make you hang out with Hunter. Okay, guys, we are about to give you the one and only phone number of the Leo Zagami show, which is no, stay with your mother. I'm telling you, I'm kind of busy here. He wanted to join me. I don't know why. +1. Here he is.
Why is he jumping on you?
I don't know. He wants to
you
jump.
Wanted.
Rambo, stay with your mother. At the moment, I need to open the phone lines. I know this is this show. It's
back over there.
Okay. He's gonna be put back in his place. It's not a cage. Don't worry. It's a nice divan. It's just like. Okay, so Rambo misses Leo. Yeah, that's true. He really misses me. Just chill out, Rambo. What is he doing? Okay, so if you hear this little tip,
he's going in his bed.
He's going in his bed because then he has a bed. He has both. He likes to hang out on the divan, but he also has his own bed, which is under a
table.
Under a table. He has this nice. No, what is it? A cushion. It's a bed. A small doggy bed. Okay, so welcome to the Leo Zagami show. +1 970-577-66369. We will be opening the phone lines now, Christy. and we will be discussing, of course, also with their audience, what they think of the fact that we are being gradually prepared for the mark of the beast. The majority of our society is being prepared. Of course, we would like to oppose. Rambo, stop walking around. Okay, guys, whenever you want, you can call in. And now we can continue with the show and with the news, of course, but also with the delivery of the information regarding today's show. So, okay, we have already somebody calling in. Welcome to the Leo Zagami show. Who am I talking with? Hello? Okay, first of all, put down the volume in the background. Put your headphones. You seem to have the volume. Hello there.
From Houston, Texas.
Okay, from Houston, Texas. Welcome. Can you put
hold on.
Yeah, because
I have my laptop open.
Okay. Because otherwise we're gonna have this infinite delay that's gonna become unbearable for our listeners. Okay. So we have a listener who was online with us, but then suddenly he dropped out because probably he was having some problems. But in any case, we'll be waiting for him to call again. It was a listener viewer from Houston, Texas. Houston? It's like Houston, the place where they lift up. No, they don't lift up. I mean, they talk in the movie. Houston. Yeah. It's the place. Houston, is that you? Is that you, Houston? Houston.
It is Houston.
Houston, can you hear us?
Playing in the background.
Yes, now I can hear you. Welcome to the Leo Zagami show. What's your name? Hello there. Can you hear me? We're not in luck today. It is. Sorry, guys. We're just having some problems, some technical problems, but we will continue. We will persist. So, everything around us is being crafted in a way that the majority of the people that you find in every day in our society. Hey. Hello there. Welcome to the Leo Zagami show. Who am I talking with?
Hey, Leo. This is Richard. I'm from Utah. How you doing?
Welcome from Utah. I've been in Utah once.
He knows Utah.
I know Utah. I drove for the whole of Utah. So, I mean, where are you from in Utah?
No, Leo. I'm originally from Manhattan, New York City. I exited into Provo, Utah now.
Oh, wow.
Oh, wow. So you find it like a nice place there? You enjoy it?
Yeah, so the dream is to buy a home and have a family. I'm 33 years old, but enough for me, man. Leo, I absolutely love you, man. God bless you. I pray for you. I pray for Alex Jones. I found you through Alex Jones. I absolutely love you, man. You're extremely interesting. I bought your book. I bought the latest one. I bought the one.
It's good.
I forgot the title. The one of about the secret dimensions. What's that book again?
The Invisible Master.
Yeah, it's a very long title. I'm in the middle of it. I actually like you mentioning, all the secret societies. Oh my God, I'm amazed. I'm talking to you right now, Leo, man. The point is, I love you.
Great, thank you so much.
I donated to you a couple of days ago as well. I donated some money to you.
Oh, thank you.
Please continue fighting, and I absolutely love you, Leo.
Thank you so much for calling in then. Any question or you just called for some appreciation? Because we appreciate your appreciation. Huh?
I know you appreciate my appreciation. I don't have a question. I just came home from the gym.
That's no problem. Well, enjoy the show then. Enjoy the show. And here we are with another viewer of the Leo Zagami show. Welcome.
Hello, Leo. It's Cameron from Houston, Texas.
Hey, finally, Houston. We are finally in contact.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So.
Sorry, my phone was messing up.
No worries. We finally got in touch with you. In the meantime, we talked with a gentleman in Utah that was also very pleasant. We love talking with our audience. As you know, the subject of the day today is the preparation of the whole of this society, of the people around us that are basically being led towards the mark of the beast. Is that an idea that you relate to? I mean, a concept that you see. Huh?
No, I mean, I don't agree with it.
You don't agree with it. That's interesting. But why you don't agree with it?
Well, I mean, it's not good. I mean,
Okay. Let's clarify this point. You don't agree with what they are trying to do, but you agree with the fact they're trying to do it because it seems pretty obvious what they're doing, no?
Right, they're doing. I don't agree with any of it. I mean, yeah, they are trying to do it, and it's hard to like when I try to, tell friends and stuff like that about it. They just kind of disregard it, and or think I'm crazy. But
how is your life in Texas? How old are you, and how did you get into this, let's say, awareness of certain subjects?
I'm 31. I guess when I first started getting into this stuff, it was after like 9/11. A friend of mine was telling me that that we basically did it and this and that, and then I started just kind of looking into the Illuminati and stuff like that, and then Alex Jones, and then recently, I came across your videos, and then I just recently got the last of my collection. The 7th volume just came in, but yeah, I've been listening to Alex Jones for a few years now, and just trying to spread some of this stuff to friends. I got a bunch of friends that are now.
Yeah. How? Let me ask you. Your friends, 31-year-old gentleman. So you are rather young. I mean, you are at least 21 years younger than me. So I relate to you as rather young. Do you think they're understanding the dangers? Your generation of what is happening and what is about to happen.
Some do. I'll say some do. Most don't, and most just don't care.
Okay, so this, you see, the passivity element is the element, though, that Satan loves very much. Cyber Satan will enjoy everybody being passive because in the end they would just fall automatically in his arms. Don't you think so?
Repeat that last part.
They will, if people are passive, they will eventually just fall into the arms of Satan and cyber Satan, of course, because it's like it doesn't matter if you don't believe in these things; they are happening. So if you don't take awareness about, you don't understand these things, then you just live through life with a lower sense of awareness, just like a sheep. You get conducted towards the slaughter. Do you have the impression that the majority of your friends is being brought towards the slaughter, these people who are not aware?
Some of them, yes. But most of my friends, they're like-minded, and they're starting to kind of like look into, a bunch of your stuff. But like you said, with the cyber stuff, everybody's hooked up on their phones, on social media, and they just kind of just go with the flow, I guess. And then a lot of people just don't believe in God or Satan, period. So it's,
okay.
Sure.
So you think there is a lot of atheists these days around?
Yeah.
So, okay, we have a lot of atheists. And this especially in your generation, though, in the younger people, there is a lot of atheism.
Right.
And at this point, in this digital age, with everything that is happening around them, they are fine with being microchipped or taking another vaccine.
Some, yeah. Some actually don't mind it.
Well, this is pretty scary, no? I mean,
for example, like my girlfriend, when the vaccine came out, like her and everybody's jumping on board to get the vaccine, and it's just, from day one, I was telling people like, don't get the vaccine, but then you got people that are they turn the vaccinated against the unvaccinated.
So then you saw some aggressive modality from the vaccinated towards the unvaccinated amongst your friend circle?
Some, yes.
This seems
well,
to
like
be...
when I go, if I go into stores and they ask, hey, you got to be vaccinated or, whatever, I'd say I'm not, then it's kind of like, whatever.
Well, it seems though that you will find yourself more with like-minded people in the case of a societal collapse. What you gonna do? Because you have to understand that those people who are now just going through things without really recognizing the problem, they will probably just simply be so shocked when things start to go bad and there is going to be societal collapse that maybe they don't stand even a chance at this point. Do you have the idea of you and your friends who are more aware to join the Great Reject and form a community of more like-minded individuals even at your young age?
I am definitely. I'm going to try to get as many as my friends as I can. But right now, everybody was kind of making fun of me from the beginning of the lockdown because I started getting, the storable food from Alex Jones' website, that other website. So I got stocked up on that, ammunition, and then now I'm recently getting into reloading my own ammunition. So I've been just slowly just stocking up and collecting stuff.
Okay, now you live in the city or you live outside of the city?
I kind of live in the city.
So this is I wrote about it in my latest book. There is some advice that I give to people who live in the cities. One of the advice is to just leave the city. The other one is to follow a series of directions that I address here relating to the international geopolitical, internal political situation, because in case you start having riots and so on, food scarcity and all that, I guess that the best thing is to leave the city. Do you have a plan B?
I'm forming one right now.
Okay.
I plan on leaving, like getting out of the city. Probably like maybe somewhere in Austin or San Antonio. But as far as that goes, I'm prior military, so I got some high, armor piercing rounds, stuff like that. So if anybody starts rioting, they're entering a world of pain.
Well, you have to understand that it's not going to be easy, though, even if you have the ammunition and the guns to go through hundreds of thousands of morons that are kind of struggling, raiding shops, raiding houses, and behaving like zombies. So, beware and prepare also a plan B that brings you outside of the city in the shortest period of time as soon as you have center of the societal collapse. I recommend you to do that.
Yes, sir. I will jump on that.
Thank you so much for calling and for giving us also an idea of how things are amongst the people of your age range and how, if you had to make a percentage, how many amongst your friends are the ones who will join you and the ones who instead still would believe in this lie until the end?
I would give it like a 30%.
So 30% of your friends is the let's say the persons that are really aware of things and that might save themselves. Thank you so much for calling in today. Please call in the future, and God bless you. And I hope that we will be, of course, meeting up in the Great Reject sometimes in the future.
Yes.
Thank you so much. Of course, we are trying to take more calls as possible. 5 minutes past the hour here in Palm Springs is actually 5 minutes past 6 o'clock in the evening. It's 5 minutes past 7 o'clock Mountain Time, and 5 minutes past 8 o'clock Central Time, and 5 minutes past 9 o'clock Eastern Time.
Slow.
Which clock? The one on the wall?
Yeah.
Well, yes, you should fix it. Okay, welcome to the Leo Zagami Show. Who am I talking with?
Hey, Leo, Christy, it's Kevin from Los Angeles.
Hi, Kevin.
Oh, Kevin, pleasure to talk with you as usual. Today, of course, as you know, we are discussing what is happening here with the preparation almost of the majority of our society, which is kind of like being pushed towards a point of no return. When do you think this point of no return will actually be reached, Kevin?
Gosh, that's hard to say. We're getting close with. I was just reading your book today about AI and alien technology, and how it would be pretty hard to turn back once this thing starts. You know, they're already starting to put robots in airports to warn people about wearing masks and stuff like that.
We are definitely at the crossroads of something that is happening here that will terminate the way we lived in the past. This is clear. Now we see it from simply putting on the news and seeing this constant reminder that everything has to be resetted, no? The military, the political arena, everything is in a reset mode. Our cars that need to be electric, the electricity, the sources of electricity, and it seems like they are really pushing more and more. So that's why I said that we don't have much time. I, like you have read in my book, give it approximately only, we have basically 8 years to save ourselves. I'm not saying save humanity, because Kevin, I'm sure you will agree, you will not be able to save the majority of the people who are in Los Angeles today. They're way gone. Even if their city is a criminal shithole, they still, I don't know. What do you think? I mean,
don't even believe it.
Why do you think they don't really kick the ass of Mayor Garcetti? And why is it like they are passive? Californians are so passive.
It's brainwashing. I think it's the media, maybe the whole Hollywood mentality, listening to celebrities who don't know what they're talking about. These, these pedophile celebrities, I would say.
they don't see. Somebody's saying here on the chat, our friend Bruce, they don't see. Definitely we have a lot of challenges in the next few years, but will you stay in LA when the shit hits the fan? Because LA, it's not really the place where you want to be.
Unfortunately, I can't get out, but if I can, I will get out. I'm close to the airport, LAX, and if anything happens at the Target, I'll be nuked.
You don't think you can get out? Why is that? Because of the work you do? Because
financially. Yeah.
But I mean, isn't life expensive in LA? I mean,
yeah.
So why don't you go where it's less expensive, out of LA? So sorry if I just asking you a question. Maybe I'm naive. Maybe I'm stupid.
No, that's all right.
But I would like to understand what keeps you to LA.
My home situation. Live at home with my parents and take care of them.
Okay.
It'd be kind of difficult since they're in their late 80s.
I completely understand, and this is also a very noble thing that you're doing, though. So my prayers go with you, because you are still an old school lad who takes care of his parents. So maximum respect for that, Kevin. And I hope that though you can maybe bring even them outside of LA. You have read my book yet? Because I have made a list of things you need to watch before you understand that you really have to leave the city for your own safety.
Yeah, I've read 211 pages so far.
Okay, well, go through it, because I also give this kind of advice in the book. And it's important for you to understand that there is at least some things that you need to know in order to leave the city within a reasonable amount of time. Because, of course, you can stay there. But if you start having a situation that is completely spiraling out of control with no food, riots, then, of course, you have to also know that it's time to go.
Make your way out to the desert.
Make your way out to the desert, which is the safer place, really. Okay. So thank you so much, Kevin. It was good. And thank you also for your honesty also in saying, really, I have to stay here because I have to take care of my parents. I mean,
well,
that is
God bless you both.
That is really, I mean, this is really what means a lot, because in Italy we care about our parents, we care about our family, you know. And so to see somebody who really here in America does that for his parents is matter, I think, of honor. And what do you think, Christy?
I agree.
Yeah, it's a good thing. So I think God will help.
It's a hard job too.
And God will help you. God will help you when the time comes. I'm sure He will. Okay, Kevin? We will pray for you.
Say hi to Rambo for me.
All the best. We speak to you soon, okay? And of course, guys, 11 minutes past the hour. We are taking in calls as they come. You are, of course, welcome to call in, +1 if you're calling from outside the United States, 970-577-6369. 970-577-6369 is our phone number today. Welcome to the Leo Zagami Show. Our subject of the day has been really to warn people about how the reality around them is being crafted towards really passively accepting everything, also this mark of the beast. Welcome to the Leo Zagami Show. Who am I talking with?
Hi, Leo Christie. It's Carl from FEMA Region number 5.
Hey, Carl, welcome. So, about the subject of today, what do you think of the subject that we've been discussing today?
Well, I must praise the show. I think it's been a stunner from top to bottom. It's the deconstruction of current events that people are so thirsty for. They're starving for it, and you're delivering. You know, unfortunately, you have too small of an audience, but I can see that they're very loyal, and I think that's
let's go back 2,000 years. I mean, there was a chap called Jesus. He had 12 disciples. I mean, that was a pretty small audience. I don't think he was doing any show for millions of people there, but it kind of left an imprint of mankind which still we are living today. Isn't that the case?
You know, I got you on the phone, so I'm not watching the video, but I imagine Christy is making a face hearing you compare yourself to Jesus.
No. I'm not comparing absolutely myself to Jesus. No. But I said, you were saying we are not many. But when we go back in time and see people...
I'm just joking.
Yes.
You're totally right.
Yeah, no, I think that people today, when they are building a mission, a project, they tend to relate too much on these likes, on these big crowds that are supposed to join them through shows on the internet and so on. Because, I mean, we have been censored, as you know. We had 15 channels closed since October 2020. I mean, 15 channels closed. And every time we try to rebuild a channel and we start having approximately 5,000 subscribers, YouTube brings us back down. So I mean, it's obvious.
And this new thing they're doing with that.
Yeah, the
thing
new
that they put up on.
Did you see this new thing they're doing on our past video? They start to, if you want to see the video, you have to agree that the content is somehow disturbing and dangerous. I mean,
you know, I know what you're talking about. There is another channel that produces these shorts, like little videos. And, you know, when you're watching these shorts, you're watching them quickly, one after another. But whenever a short from this conservative channel comes up, it kind of says, hey, this is, you know, like not appropriate for all audiences. Are you sure you want to watch this? It's ridiculous. But you know, I also want to praise your, well, first of all, you know, you're getting all these channels taken away from you. It's very unfortunate and unfair, but that's how you know you're doing something right. So you got to just keep doing it. But also I want to praise your caller from, I think he was from Texas, the one with whom you had kind of a longer conversation about his situation. That was an excellent, I thought that was great content. You asking the right questions to this young guy, you know, questions that gave me a lot to think about. So, you know, that's the kind of thing I think people are
now do you, in your environment,
ZAGAMI.
Thank you so much. No, sorry for interrupting. When you hear that caller, can you relate in your own life to the fact that the majority of maybe the people that surround you are not still aware of what is really happening?
You know, I feel like I'm walking through the Matrix. You know, I feel like I'm Leo. I'm not Leo. I'm Leo. Neo. I feel like I'm Neo. You know, it's my first time waking up, and I'm walking through the crowd. You know, like, and I'm just looking at all these people. I'm like, they're just, you know, programs. They're programmed to be the way that they are, and it feels lonely. But at the same time, you know, I'm not afraid. I know that, and I'm not especially like religious or anything like that.
How old are you?
27.
Okay, 27. We said 30% with the other listener, viewer, of his friends are aware. How many will you say of your friends are aware?
And I think he was in Texas, when he said that 30% of people in Texas are awake, the only thing I could think of is we are doomed, because I would expect, you know, a lot more people. It's Texas, you know, you're kind of thinking it's the Lone Star State. It's they want freedom, but if he says 30%, that's not good. When it comes to me, I mean, it's in the single digits, Leo. It's I don't know, 5% at most.
Rambo's walking around. Can you see him tip it up? He kind of tip taps around the floor, you know. we are about.
I hear him tip tapping on your hardwood floor. You gotta cut those nails.
No, the nails are cut. The problem is that, you know, when you have this kind of floor, even if they are cut, the nails are still there. I mean, and so he gets picked up. He doesn't like to wear shoes. He doesn't like to wear, and he doesn't like to wear socks. We tried back in the days. Well, no, but sometimes they do when it's cold.
I tried to put boots on him.
Yeah, bring him here. Rambo, come here.
Oh, just leave him alone.
Okay, he's actually officially is going to drink something now. Huh? Is he drinking something?
No, he's staring at me.
He's staring you from the kitchen.
Just
okay,
leave him alone.
No problem.
Everybody ignore Rambo.
Everybody ignore Rambo. Okay, Gavin, it was great to talk with you today.
Carl, that was Carl.
Sorry, it was Carl. I was getting confused.
Carl, FEMA region number 5.
Okay, Chicago.
Thanks for having me.
I was getting confused here with all the callers. Carl, so regarding Chicago, you have a plan B to leave Chicago?
I have a plan. You know, I've lived here for so long that living anywhere else feels, you know, very impossible to me, but I do have a dream. You know, I am actively looking at real estate in Pensacola, Florida. For some reason, that little place is calling to me, but there's a lot of obstacles right now. I'm working on a business with my parents, you know, which I feel blessed that situation has come along, because, you know, everywhere here you have to be vaccinated to work any sort of job, even remote.
Wow.
So having
even in Illinois, even remote. Why are they afraid of catching COVID through Zoom? I mean, these people are insane, man.
For my current job, I had to fight tooth and nail, and I almost lost the fight a couple times, but I stood my ground, and, you know, eventually I just kind of stopped responding to the emails, and they, you know, maybe they forgot about me, but and I refuse to use. I mean, I guess I would have to eventually, but I refuse to use like a fake vaccine card. It's not hard to fake. But, you know, it feels wrong to me to even participate in that system, in that cyber Satan system. Even if you're faking a vaccine card, you're in it, you know, whether you like it or not.
Absolutely. You have to understand that even before artificial intelligence got to the level it is now, every aspect of the mental and psychological life of people on the planet was profiled, recorded, stored in computer systems, and basically social scientists, psychologists, psychiatrists, anthropologists, think tanks, foundations, lodges have presided with the elite on arriving to this point, and it's now up to us to find a way to resist, at least, and find our own dimension. Thank you so much for calling today.
Have a nice
evening.
Thank you, and call again. Welcome to the Leo Zagami Show. Who am I talking with? But we had a phone line, and then it fall down. Okay, welcome to the Leo Zagami Show. This is one of our last callers today. Who am I talking with?
Calator, how are you?
Hi.
Hello there. Where are you calling from?
Houston.
Houston.
Houston. Okay, Houston.
You guys look great.
Okay. What do you think about the subject we're discussing today, about this whole behavior modifications of most of the population so they can finally comply to the mark of the beast?
To be honest with you, this has been going on for well over a decade, probably more than 30 years.
Yeah.
They condition each generation. I first took notice of it maybe 25 years ago. But
what made you notice it? What made you notice?
Well, I grew up in a telecommunications family, so I saw the emergence of the internet and all of the specialized broadband telecommunications they were going to be using in the future. I met Steve Jobs 3 times. I used to go to Bell Labs, so I saw all the sophisticated technology that they were using. And it led me into some other stuff later on in the late 90s, which is an interesting story in itself, and I'm not going to get into it now, but let's just say I came in contact with some 3-letter agencies. But they've been conditioning the population for a long time, basically brainwashing them, controlling them, conditioning them.
But it's like, have you noticed that then from the beginning of this so-called pandemic, the draconian measures have reached a new level, like an assault on people's rights and democratic standards that was never seen before?
Well, this is what happened, and I think you would agree. Most of the people went along with it because they were conditioned to go along with it. And the people that were aware knew it was coming when it was emerging, okay? Because all the evidence was all around them. People like yourself, Alex Jones, maybe, in a lot of respects, although he's had to put his pulpit and act like a buffoon to get his word out. But hey, if you have to do that to get your truth out, then so be it.
Well, we also like to deliver our show in a funny way, in an eccentric kind of. We said at the beginning of the show. I mean, it's but we deliver it.
It's like horror satires. What prevents us from telling the truth laughingly?
Yes.
And you've got to be able to display the deep dark truths in a funny way. Alex was on the Vanguard. There are a lot of other people on the Vanguard too that have fallen by the side. I knew this. I basically grew up with this most of my life, and there's a reason for it. It's my religious upbringing. So I knew the mark of the beast was a very strong component. I knew the United States was pivotal in it. The United States is going to be behind most of it, and it's going to be at the vanguard of putting it to market. People have to distinguish what the mark of the beast is relative to its implementation. Those are two different things. All right? And so people are going to be very surprised about what that really is. There's a big religious aspect to this that people are not aware of.
Rambo agrees, though. Have you heard Rambo in the background? He seems to agree with what you're saying. He was like, he was saying, Rambo, do you agree? Because, I mean, so you see, we are in front of techniques for a psychological manipulation of our whole society that are old as humanity itself, because they have always been used, feudal lords, to preserve maybe their own, consolidate their power. And then we have, of course, at that time, the punishment through torture, through various ways of persuading you. Nowadays, they might not torture you in the physical sense, but they definitely use a lot of mind control, manipulation, propaganda, constant propaganda.
Precisely.
And they have also another
thing. One of the reasons why I listen to you, Leo, is because the fact that you have paid the price personally and professionally for where you're at today. Okay, and getting out this truth. And that's when I started following you when you were going through your crap in Norway. I mean, you were a little weird. You were going through a lot of stuff, okay? I remember you had hair, and you were going through a lot of stuff.
I had hair, yeah. Back then I had
I remember you had hair.
But I was also, it was less white, let's say, because the hair is white. We get old. That's a bygone era, I was like 36,
So the people I listen to, the people who paid who paid the price, okay, professionally or otherwise. I paid the price in a way. But, you know what you're talking about. But the reason why they did everything in 2020, they kicked it off. First of all, they're behind schedule, as you know. Mm-hmm. They have to get this together by 2030. Mm-hmm. Because 2031, as you know, is the 2,000-year anniversary of Christ's crucifixion. So they want to have their new world order in place by 2030, at least. That's the game. They know they're behind schedule, big time. And Trump put them behind schedule, at least in the United States. They're supposed to be maybe 5 years ahead of schedule by now. Hillary.
We can say basically that Trump, in a way, paused a little bit their plan, and now it's though recovering very, very fast, especially thanks to the war. I don't think they have problems now to implement even the most draconian measures, thanks to this supposed war that we are in already. So yes, you're totally right. They are a little bit behind schedule, but I'm sure that they're gonna recover very fast. Unfortunately.
Well, they'd have to do a couple of things simultaneously around the world to galvanize their complete, at least their economic switch. And they're trying to move everybody toward a transformative transactional environment where everything, how we interact and pay for things, has changed.
Yeah.
and they're the most obvious aspect.
So
of that,
it's also it's also the economy. No, we have talked about, of course, the war, the various geopolitical implications, but also there is a business side. The transformation of the whole of our society that is moving towards digital currency, which is, of course, also another way of not only creating money out of thin air, which was, because if you think about it, up until now, we have been producing money out of thin air, but now it's money that can also be traced and eliminated in any moment, because they can simply wipe it, at the touch of a switch. Thank you so much for calling today and for your questions, and please call in the future, okay?
Take care.
Thank you.
Like hearing from
Welcome
you.
to the Leo Zagami show. Who am I talking with for our last caller?
Hi, Leo. It's Doris from Maryland. How are you?
Hi.
Whoa, hello. Finally a woman. We seen here there was only men, and now finally we have a woman. Rambo is pestering me. I would suggest that we arrest him. We basically arrest him and bring him here. Okay, so aside from what our little pup is doing around the house, what do you think about the subject of today, and how are the people around you? Are they realizing it? What kind of percentage you think of people surrounding you is really aware of what is going on?
Well, Maryland being a blue state, I'd say maybe only 20% and possibly more, but they won't say that they are, because they're actually working for the beast. Because Maryland is the location of the beast, right?
Well, I will not. I don't say it's the headquarters of the beast, because then we will have to go back to Rome.
Well, I mean, I'm talking about DC.
I'm sorry. Yes, I completely understand. So, but regarding you personally, I don't want to ask your age, because, of course, you are a woman. It will not be nice, and I will not ask your age. But
don't ask her age.
I will never ask age to a woman. But how many people around you? What kind of percentage you think of people are aware?
Like I said, in Maryland, just maybe 20%.
20.
More that aren't saying. They're hiding.
Okay, so a lot of people know what is happening, but because they are in a blue state, in one of the headquarters of the beast, as you defined it, they like to just keep it, for themselves. This is something you think that happens a lot? People hide it?
Maryland is where a lot of these people work, right? Maryland is where the FBI, CIA, NSA, they're all here. So these people that are awake are keeping quiet, because that's what pays their bills. So anyway, so that's my take. I actually called because I wanted to know what you thought about that video that went viral, or I don't know if you're aware of it. It's called Watch the Water, and it was Dr. Brian Artis, and he talked about how the vaccine seems to have snake venom in it.
Well, I mean, graphene, in a way, no, it's connected, I think, to that. And we have discussed graphene in the past. Now, I followed the whole video to understand what all the fuss was about. The only thing that I don't really agree with is the fact that he seems to say that this virus, this biological warfare pathogen, whatever it is, it's spread through the water and not through the air. It's something that kind of left me a little bit perplexed, because, then that will imply that you will have to drink tap water, which, for example, in countries like Italy is very rare. So, when
well, they're testing it through the sewage, because whatever water is turned on when they release it, and I'm guessing if what he's saying is true, and his theory, it's a theory, I guess, is that they're releasing it in spurts, and then they're watching and seeing, okay, we got these, 500 people sick, or we got these 200 people, and there do seem to be clusters of this COVID, and
well, I find more, I will say, more down to to some foundation of, like, of course, that is a theory. You can agree with it, you can disagree, but there is no substantial evidence. Instead, here in this article, which I'm showing you, this article comes, of course, from the website of somebody who is very known in the truther movement, Mike Adams, Natural News. He is talking here about snake venom company, Venom Tech, announcing a partnership with Charles River Laboratories, which run Fauci's secret island of medical experiments on monkeys and beagles. Now, the fact that this is a reality, I mean, this is a fact. And I'm maybe more interested in following where this is going to lead us to. I have, like I said, a little bit of, I mean, like even the guy in the video says, there is some things that he doesn't have any evidence of. So it's left to his own interpretation. And so the fact that they might have used venom, which is basically being used since ancient times on poison arrows and whatnot from snakes.
And it does have a spike protein.
And it does have a spike protein. And of course, like I said, it could definitely be, there is something there. But this is a bioweapon. And it definitely contains it contains venom of some kind. But if you ask me, did the people, because at one point I remember of this video, I don't know if I'm getting it wrong, but he said that it was not transmitted through the air, but through the water. Now that is a little bit, I don't know, it's kind of like left me a little bit puzzled, that part of the video.
Well, but it could also be in the vaccines themselves, and also they talked about it being in the remdesivir, which is killing people.
Yes, no, the fact with the remdesivir, I never trusted really. I mean, of course, it was experiment at the beginning. It was promoted as a possible solution. Personally, I stuck to ivermectin, hydroxychloroquine, and a natural solution, which is sweet wormwood, which I think it's been very much kind of hidden to the majority of the population. But having said this, I'm not a doctor. I'm not a health expert. My father was. And so when it comes down to relying to health experts, I conducted for a few months, as you know, this show with Dr. Paul Cottrell, and I found some interesting things. And so I definitely came to the conclusion at even before this whole vaccine was unrolled, I knew that like we all knew, that was ultimately the plan. And now we have even a confirmation from Dr. Fauci. I showed it during the show. You saw it yourself, that it's a confirmation. He said basically that lockdowns were made to convince people to get vaccinated. I mean, it's not, no? It's like, no, it's just that, yeah. It's basically the time to close the show. But definitely thank you so much for bringing up this last question, because there has been a lot of talk about it, and I think that definitely there is some truth in all this.
All the things that help it are anti-venom, according to Dr. Artis. The hydrochloroquine and the ivermectin, these are all things that would be used for anti-venom.
Well, of course, that's a possibility. In this book, by the way, as you know, I dedicated this book to 3 people who died fighting what I defined as the Fourth Reich, people that also, like Dr. Andreas Noack or Dr. Domenico Biscardi, denounced this graphene dioxide. And the fact that the graphene is in some way connected also to the venom, that is basically something that was kind of known, and it's the dangers of it. I mean, it's basically important that we expose all this, but it's also important that we do it with some verification that is scientific. So I was a little bit surprised of the success of this video because of the fact that there wasn't a robust scientific support to what they were proposing. You understand?
Yeah, yeah.
Because
venom's been around, and snake, they've been using snake venom for thousands of years. It's guaranteed kill. I mean, if you go back to the old witches and all the potions and all that, this would be a very simple thing to use. And they always say go back to the old.
But there is also
when you have something already in the book.
There is also something that like I said, graphene oxide, and I discussed very much this possibility in my book, Volume 7, because of this people that had denounced this whole thing. Now, I'm sure that if we start spreading information that is not correct, like, for example, the fact that this virus was spread through the water system, in some way, we are helping China to get off the hook. Because here we are talking, I was just like watching the Deutsche Welle, the German news this morning. I watched it sometimes. And they were going again, they were talking again about the pangolin, the bat, and all this BS.
They've never isolated the virus, though.
Sorry?
Technically, it's never been quite actually isolated, the virus itself.
Yeah, no, but what I wanted to say is that by talking about still the kind of possibility from a natural occurrence, which is basically a pangolin having sex with a bat, I don't know, it's a crazy hypothesis that will take hundreds of years to put into the making and will never be possible. We are getting off the hook the people from that lab in Wuhan that are responsible for all this. Now, I don't care if they made it put in the venom of a snake, of a pig, of whatever. I care about getting the people responsible about all this, because we have to, the origins.
I don't understand why Fauci's still walking the earth. I don't know why Fauci hasn't been arrested.
Yeah, but remember that the official storyline, and still this morning I told you, Deutsche Welle, which is the German TV, supposed to be all correct, showing me these images and justifying the whole thing. You know how? By saying that because there is a pig, there was this pig swine flu that has killed millions of pigs, and the Chinese were basically didn't have any more. Their main source of food is pigs because they put it in all Chinese food, and they had to substitute it with new sources that came from the wildlife, and that might have helped eventually to get to COVID-19. Well, I think that is so much bull. Sorry if I say that. That's BS.
That's obvious.
Garbage. But then, of course, we have to be very careful then not to go to some extreme and say that it's been put in the water, something that maybe instead was found in the air, simply because they have found a way of constructing it in the lab. Not saying that that theory is not in part correct, and that probably, and like the documentary rightly says, Redemsbeer creates a lot of damage, probably more damage than what is supposed to cure. So I think there is some very interesting point in this documentary. So thank you very much for bringing it up. And
the last quick thing about the documentary is the thing that I got out of it at the end with the fortune cookie, and I don't want to spoil it for people that haven't seen it, but to me, the fortune cookie was proof of God.
Okay.
He was God-smacked with that fortune cookie, if in fact that's truly what happened.
Well, definitely there is, and also the fact, like the guy, the author of the doctor who is there, who talks so much about also his own interpretation of God, that this in the end is not only a medical a pandemic created by man, but there is some kind of demonic involvement. So this I find very interesting and very important that he has brought up. Maybe also the symbolism of the snake in all this, which of course is a very important symbolism because is connected to Satan. I find this very interesting. So I understand that people...
The medical system has two snakes.
And well, of course, in fact, that's one thing. Also, one snake really, when it comes down to the World Health Organization. In fact, back in early 2019, I had put it in the back of my book cover before the pandemic ever started, because I knew that.
You have a right snake right in the front of your book.
And then I have it in front of my new book, as you know, because it is aiding and abiding, apart from Ahriman here, the creation of the cyber Satan. And this is very important. So I think that today, and then in the Vatican also, we have the image, that is the main room where the Pope talks usually on a Wednesday whenever he delivers his speeches, which is in the shape of a snake. So that is,
and the Pharaoh snake, remember, fought Moses' snake in the Cecil B. DeMille's movie, but they had the two snakes fighting.
Absolutely. I mean, I find it very interesting that we can have this discussion. Like I said, I'm personally not a doctor, and I never wish to discuss medical things too much, because I will always find myself, how you say, not prepared enough. But definitely the audience hall of the Vatican, which I've been there many times, it's shaped in that form. And so people have also that connection. And definitely there is something really sincerely demonic about all of everything that is happening. Having said all this, though, we have to realize that the most important thing for us now is to focus on resisting both the vaccine and what is coming next, because what is coming next is the implementation of the mark of the beast, because that is really what this whole thing is made for, no? Is to push us to release all our private data, to succumb all our medical information, to belong to a global system that wants us with digital IDs, and ultimately to put all this in a microchip that is injected. And at that point, finally, Bill Gates will come out in the open and said, I did all this from the beginning, and that was my intention. Just like Dr. Fauci finally admitted that the intentions, the real reason for the lockdowns is that they push people towards the vaccine. So thank you so much for calling today. And this was, of course, the Leo Zagami show with Leo and Christy.
It was good.
It was good, Rambo, in the end. That's good. That's good. Thank you so much for following us. We need to refuse, resist, and not comply. Not comply. We hope that this video stays here on YouTube, on Facebook. We don't know. I mean, we have discussed things that, especially when you touch the medical, you have to be very careful. I was like,
if you don't see this, we'll see you on Saturday.
If you don't see us, if you get a strike, then start searching for us. We will try to still stay on board, though. I mean, it's not easy,
No.
It's not easy. It's not easy. Not easy. Okay, guys, thank you so much for being with us today. Please spread this video, put like, and support the show by purchasing our book or by the occasional donation. We will be here again on Saturday at 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, 11 a.m. Mountain Time, 12 p.m. Central Time, 1 p.m. Eastern. Okay, see you soon, ladies and gentlemen. Au revoir.
Bye, everyone.
Christy, you want to say something?
Stay safe.
And yes. Elon Musk. He has plans to transform Twitter. Huh? Did you see his plans? Just a second.
It's not him.
But it's important. Let's see what he says.
I think it's very important for there to be an inclusive arena for free speech, where all,
let's see, free speech. Let's hope so. But I doubt it. Take care. From Palm Springs, California, this was the Leo Zagami Show.